everyone, welcome to the Artsy Knitter. This is episode number 9. I think I need to start saying that more. I'm not really into the whole saying the date because technically I film on one day and then I edit the heck out of it, and then when I get a chance to wait 1,700 hours to export and then upload to YouTube, then it becomes available to you. So technically, once I export it for a whole day, then I wait until the evening time that night and upload it to YouTube while I'm sleeping. So I close the laptop, which I have right here today, close the light. I should have done this earlier, so this is all really glaring. I don't know. Close the laptop and let it load while I'm sleeping. So by the next morning, it's up. So I don't say the date. So it's episode 9, Silent Retreat. And you're like, what are you talking about? Okay, I'm going to get to that. Let's get to the first order of business. First order of business is the rambling section. True ramblings is always gratitudinous. Gratitudinous is all about the new artsy peeps that join the group. That's for you YouTubers or new folks that are tuning in. That is what I call the Facebook for knitters and crocheters. It is without the status updates. It is a phenomenal resource for knitters. So if you're not on there and you're a knitter, or you're trying to be a knitter, or you're just new at being a knitter, get a Ravelry account, but dive in. Don't do this thing where you have a Ravelry account and then it sits there for I don't even know how long. And no activity or one project or something like that. There are forums and groups. Get involved. Okay? Get involved. Okay, that was not meant to look scary. Oh, get involved. No, I was not trying to do that. Sorry. Okay. Back to focus. So yeah, get on Ravelry, join the Ravelry group, subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm also on Instagram as the Artsy Knitter. My Instagram account is quite lively. The ladies on Instagram are fantastic. Mama Grizzle Knits, who's one of the gratitudinous who's just joined the group. She gave a little intro in our intro thread, and she's fantastic. I think she's kind of the first to have been really, really warm and inviting when I got onto Instagram. So, yeah, she's always going to be my number one viewer, I guess. And she gave me a shout out too on her Instagram account. When she's watching certain certain podcasts, sometimes she posts and stuff like that. So if you get at least one of those, you should be like, woo! I got one. But she's awesome, and she's in the group now. So she's one of our gratitudinous. The other is, we have 69 peeps now. And 69. There's no kids in this podcast today. Are there kids in the room? No, wait. My child is probably going to watch the podcast at some point. Am I crooked? I am. Should have checked that before coming on. And new bow tie. Malfunction. Wardrobe malfunction. Okay, so back to the focus here. Mom of Aussie Kids, thanks for joining us. I think, and I know if there's another Aussie in the group, she'll kick my butt. Please do. I think she's our first Aussie in the group. What? Do you know why I'm excited? Can anyone tell why I'm excited? My boyfriend's Australian, from Melbourne. So, my first Australian viewer, you're the bomb. I'm gonna look for things just for you. You, me. Okay. Maybe we could even meet up when I come there to visit. If I don't strangle him by the time I get there. Anyway, I want to say this name is Mala Love 1718. So MLA Love 1718. She just joined the group. She came to us via the Instagram. So fantastic. Welcome. Tie-Dye Diva. I like your name. Did I mention that in the intro? I like your name. Thanks for joining us. And of course, Panda Loves Wool. So that's our gratitudes. Panda Loves Wool won the little stitch marker set that I created. And another little secret component that she will not know about, which I am not going to tell you on this podcast because I know you're watching. See you. Okay? Panda Loves Wool. Ooh, just one. We are trying to do a knit night together. And it's been disastrous getting us coordinated because I am in the process of changing my internet provider before I wrangle somebody. Don't even get me started. We're not going to go down that road. I'm getting a new provider, so I'm not at home where I can just be like, yeah, let's just pop on and do the Insta. It has to be before 8 o'clock now, during the day when I can go to a cafe or to somebody's house, which is totally inconvenient and really weird. Panda, don't think that I'm like, yeah, let's do a knit night, and then like, blow you off. Flaky foolishness. That's not what's happening, okay? I am so sorry. The community has so much love and support, and my Instagrammers support me and, you know, shout me out. Like Saratoga Knitting just gave me a shout out, I think, today or yesterday. So it's all good. But anyway, my point is Panda has a podcast. Now, all this time I did not know this. Like when she won and all this stuff, and I'm like talking to her on I didn't know this until when she won. I sent like a message to her, and then I was like, oh, I'm testing out this Google Hangouts for a virtual knit night. And then I'm like, oh, I think I have to add her to my circle. And so I went on to her YouTube, or I don't know how I found her on my YouTube. Something, I'm not sure. I clicked around, and then I was like, oh, she's got 2 episodes of Pandaville. This is so cute. And her husband comes on, is like total like, you know, strong silent type, and he's just like, what's up? You know, I don't think he did that, but whatever. He's just like super cool. And then he's like, hi, and he leaves. I don't even know what his voice sounds like. He didn't even say a word. But she's totally Brooklyn in the house, you know, she's like totally a New Yorker, and I love her. She's so cute. So she's our winner for our 50 members giveaway celebration. We're at 69. I like that number. 69. We need to get to 100. Like where is everybody? Where? Hello. 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 Where are you? Anyway. So let's get to it. So Panda, this is part of the next section. I'm trying to see if I can make this knit night happen before I leave. That's right, you heard it. I have finally been accepted to a meditation retreat. And it's called Vipassana, and hence the title of the show is Silent Retreat. So I'm just going to read so that way I don't give the wrong information. But it's basically, it's also, Vipassana is also called the Insight Meditation. Insight Meditation. And I'm going to be there for about 10 days of silence and meditation and reflection. Right? I do yoga, I meditate. It is not, as far as I can tell, a religious entity, so to speak. You know, like this is Catholic or this is Baptist, or it's just a meditation technique, even though they call it, you know, like, anyway, so yeah. And Vipassana means insight into the true nature of reality. Seeing things as they are, not what you make up in your mind. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's mindfulness of breathing, which is said to lead to insight. When you're mindful of your own breath and how breath affects your body. You're able to get into yourself and really investigate what's going on in here. The term Vipassana has gained popularity due to the influence of the Vipassana movement, which started in 1950s in Burma. Although this influence, is especially discernible in the use of mindfulness, it's as a practice to handle emotions. And I don't know if you guys figured out I'm very emotional. Yeah. The last podcast, I was trying to see in my editing if anybody could tell that I was literally controlling not crying when I talked about my brothers. Like I said it, I started talking, I was like, don't you cry, don't you cry, don't you cry, girl. These people didn't come here to watch this podcast, to see you bawl, okay? Control it. But anyway, but yeah, it's, I'm emotional, so... but I don't think emotions are bad. I think when emotions control and dominate how you move, which way you move, how you react to certain circumstances, when it dominates and it controls you, for me, I think that that's a problem. It doesn't need to be for you. Everybody reaches to their own thing in their own time. I want to master my emotions, not control or oppress or, and I think also somebody who does not maybe doesn't put out emotion, sometimes it becomes a control. It's not, I don't know. I just find like, I can think of one person in particular who he never cries, and it's something that runs in the family, and I think he says that all the time, but I think that I don't need you to be a blithering idiot every 5 seconds, but I think it's important for you to purge your emotions about things and so on. So, I don't know, but I think the balancing of your emotions, events are what they are. It's how you react to them that is important to kind of learn to do well, to learn to do it gracefully, not to oppress it or pretend it's not there. So anyway, I'm extremely excited to be going. So I'm going from the 14th of June to the 15th. So that means by the time you see this video, I will already be in my zone. Yes, my zone. I will already be in this zone. I'm organizing. I'm trying to be like, on top of it by getting a really, really close friend of mine, the gentleman that recorded my birthday episode, to get him to upload everything for me, maybe around the 9th or 10th or so. So that's when you'll probably see this. And then by the time I come back, I'll have a few more days to get ready to make another episode. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening. So by the time you see this, I will be there. That means no phones, no iPads, no reading, anything distracting. Then it made me think, I wonder if I can knit. I mean, it's meditative in of itself. I don't know if you've heard that before. I know I have a lot of newbies in my group, so just so you know, knitting is very meditative. And they don't want you, they discourage you practicing other forms of meditation than the one that they're teaching you at this retreat. Not that other meditations are bad, but they just want you to focus in your energy on learning this particular practice. So I don't know if they're going to stop me from knitting, but I'm bringing knitting on my way there because it's up north. It's quite a few hours to get to this place. This is within Canada. Just so you know, though, Vipassana retreats are all over the world. There's a link in the show notes which will direct you to finding it all over the world. North America, Europe, wherever you are. Yeah. So, yeah. So, that means you won't be seeing me in the Ravelry groups as much. It means that I won't be answering emails, so bear with me. When I come back on the 15th, probably by the 16th or 17th, I'll pop on. I'll check and see what you guys have written in this particular thread. If you have comments about the show, the particular episode you're watching, just try, not a big, huge, massive deal, but try to go into that thread and write, hey, what you said about blah, 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 or, how do you feel about that Vipassana thing, or how did you find out about it, or whatever the case may be. Oh, your Instagram is really lively. Like, I never thought to go on Instagram for knitting. And also, Google Plus has knitting communities on it. And I'm on Google Plus. I don't even use it. But now I am. With Google Hangouts and the fact that I can record Google Hangouts, I'm excited. I just need to figure out how the Google Hangouts, when I tested it, it doesn't allow me to record us side by side. Like how the Knit Girls, when Leslie is not speaking, Lala she's big and Leslie's really small. And then when Leslie wants to speak, they go like that. Or they go, I don't know what program they're using. If anybody knows a program that can allow me to do the same thing where somebody else from far can, I can interview them and, the Knit Girls, that kind of thing where we can split our video screen, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really, really excited and very kind of like, not nervous, just like, whoa, I'm finally getting a chance to do this retreat. It means no eye contact with other people while you're there. It's really about you. Everything is provided, food, accommodations. You donate what you can at the end, or you can donate your services to come back and serve at the retreat for 10 days. So, and it's been going on for many, many years, these retreats. So clearly people are benefiting and donating and sustaining this movement. So I'm excited. Anyway, I'll tell you guys more about that. Episode 10. Yeah, exactly. It probably will take like 3 episodes to go through it all. But anyway. Right. So, the other thing in ramblings. Who is doing the Knit Girls Stash Dash 2014? Okay, I didn't even know what this was. And I was watching Ines Knit, of course. And I think it was Chris that started talking about Stash Dash. And so I went on, and it's from the May the 23rd to August the 8th. It's basically, you can knit, spin, weave, create or use 5,000 yards of yarn, either from your stash. So anything that comes into your house, basically a stash, she's saying. And even if it's an old project that you haven't finished, like say you were doing the viagante, however you say it, and you're like almost at the end, and say that that's like 1,000 yards, that adds to your stash dash if you bind it off by August 8th. So go on to the Knit Girls group. The link will be in my show notes on the blog, and click on their or just go to their group and check it out. They totally don't mind if you double dip. So if you have other cows going on, get in there, do it. Add that to what's happening. I'm like checking my time because yeah. So what else? Then, and where they talk about this stash dash is episode 203. Have you any wool? Have you any wool? Monsieur, have you any wool? That would be Ava, actually. I have no idea. I was channeling her just now. Have you any wool, sir? Yeah. Anyway, so right about where it is 45 minutes into the show, they talk about the details. And she also lays it out pretty clear on the thread that's called Stash Dash. Then I started thinking about, I am dying to start meeting you guys. Like, I guess from listening to the Knit Girls, and they're talking about podcaster meetups at all these events. I'm like, I want to go to a podcaster meetup. I can't wait. so I can squeal like a fangirl when I see like that squirrel. I'm gonna say, I know like in 2 years, I'm gonna be like, who can tell me how many episodes don't have the fat squirrel's name in it? That's gonna be a contest. See, I'm giving you a hint from now. This is gonna be funny. Anyway, sorry. I'm like spazzing. Okay. I started thinking about knitting events. I'm definitely trying, like my goal for this year, if nothing else, is to aim for, what's it called? Stitches East. And you can find that at knittinguniverse.com. The link will be in the show notes. Rhinebeck, which is really called New York State Sheep and Wool for the newbies. Sometimes, like veterans, when I say things out or spell things out, it's because we have a lot of newbies in the group. So bear with me when I do that. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. It's necessary. You know, cover your ears or something. I don't know. So yeah, I'm really planning for those two. So I would love to hear later on down the line, as it gets closer to those times, I'm going to put a thread up to see all the people who are thinking of going to that. And we can meet in a location or something. That'd be really cool. So yeah, I'm going to go to that. But I wanted to know if anybody knows of any other knitting events that are close to Canada. So like, I'm thinking Detroit, I can get to easily, I think. And New York and New Jersey. My best friend lives in New Jersey, so if there's a way, it doesn't matter what state, I don't know, that I can take a mega bus that allows me to jump on a bus, even if it's 6 hours to get there, to like Idaho. I don't even know. I'm not saying it's 6 hours. I just don't know the states that well. If it takes like 6 hours to get there on a bus and I can manage to leave New Jersey really early in the morning on a mega bus, get to the event, enjoy the event, and then take the bus back that night as late as midnight, I don't care how late, and I can get home, back to Jersey where we'll be staying, I want to know about that event. Like, Rhinebeck is in Connecticut. That obviously is going to be totally easy. But like, maybe there's something in Washington that I could go to. So if you know about events that are accessible or easy to get to from New Jersey or New York City, let me know. Maybe even open a thread of your own on the group and list out as many as you can think of that I can get to, because I don't know the distances from American states and like how easy, you know, I don't have a concept of that stuff. So if you can help a sister out, because I really want to come and go to more knitting events. So, but that being said, my question is, those of you who are in Alberta, Canada, I may even go there, because my mother's moving back to Calgary. Do not ask me why. Oh my God. Albertans, I'm not trying to hate. I just did not have the best experience living in Calgary. Not to say it hasn't changed a lot and I probably could have better experiences. I'm just saying. Yeah. But I would go for Fiber Week, which seems to be at the Old College, Alberta. I don't know what that means, if that's a place called the Old College. Ooh, see, Saratoga Knitting just posted something on Instagram, and I was like, please post pics when you're in Japan, and she was like, sure, true, I will. I'm like, yay! Actually, what I really want her to do is like have an iPad with video and like Skype me into a store in Japan, or like Google Hangout me, so that I can record it, so that she's there, I enjoy it, then you guys, you know, simultaneously enjoy it as well. That is a whole bunch of convoluted confusionmontes, what I just said there. But Saratoga Knitting, if there's any possible way on this planet that is doable, you will be like the correspondent, the Japanese correspondent of the Artsy Knitter. I'm so super jelly of you. Not in a bad way. I'm so excited for you. You're going to enjoy yourself so much. Yeah, super jelly. If you guys see me post that, it means super jealous. Jealous! Not bad jealous. Just like, oh my god, you're so lucky jealous. Yeah. So, those of you who are in Alberta, check out Fiber Week. There's also Australian Sheep and Wool Show for my new Aussie viewer. Are you going to that? Are you going to post pictures? Do you have a Flickr that you're going to post pictures on? Or like maybe 1 in our thread or 2 in our thread or maybe 5? Possibly. I'm talking to you. Mom of Aussie kids. I'm talking to you. I want to know if you're going to go to Australian Sheep and Wool Show in July, which is at the Prince of Wales Fairground in Bendigo, Victoria. Now, she could be there right now watching the show and being like, this girl's crazy. Like, I live in, somewhere far that is nowhere close to that. But if you are, by chance, that's why I put it out there. Also, if you're in the UK, are you guys going to the Wool Fest? Summer's the time to go out and do things, people. That also means I want to know, are you going to what are your plans? Is it going to be a picnic, a knitting barbecue for, drum roll, the Worldwide Knit in Public Day, which is supposed to be June 14th to the 22nd of this year. I come back a day after that starts. So I have to figure out what I'm going to plan because I so want to do that. What are your plans? Let me know in the thread for this episode. I want to hear. Okay. Moving right along. I want to get into my whippies. So, we're 20 minutes into the show. Okay. So, before I go into the more complicated one that I'm going to get more in depth with, I'll show you, I am doing how my hats are going. This is technically a ta-da. This is my little Preemie hat. It's supposed to be knit 1, purl 2. No, knit 1, purl 1, but I did knit 2, purl 2. And both the little one and I knitted on this. And I did the decrease. So she's gonna, I always think that's so weird when somebody does this. It looks like I have a stump. I don't know, it's weird. And we're gonna put a pom-pom on the end of this too. So that's probably not my only ta-da, but that's one of the ta-das. But I wanted to show you that we're making a cream one now. I'm knitting on this one, and maybe I should make some white ones and green ones and stuff that are a little bit more gender neutral. So this is all out of acrylic yarn so that the mamas can wash them. Because it's teen moms that we're giving it to. Like, they're not going to use wool safe thingies. And we want to make their lives easier. So that's the first thing. It's Knit 1 Pro 1 Preemie Hat by Patricia J. Reece. And I'm doing these Preemie hats for a knitting cowl, for a charity cowl done by Bunniphish in her podcast and in her group. So there'll be a link to her, the thread, where you can post images. But you gotta post them to our group, which has a thread for her cowl, and her cowl. But she's got the prize, so do that one first. Okay. Yeah, she's awesome. So get in there, get connected. Moving on to, I wasn't even gonna show this, but I decided it's going so well. I'm ready to split for the arms. Look how long it's getting. This is the neck. It's the Obsidian. Like, you roll the neck over like this. Ooh, the sun is like cray cray. And like, I don't know if you can see. Can you see how the increases for the sleeves? And I'm supposed to start splitting off for the sleeves now. So that's going really well. Ooh, and look, my little stitch marker that I made. Can you see it? Can you? Can you? You see the bottom of it? Yeah. So the Obsidian is going really well. I think this yarn is Araucania. That's going really well. And my global warming, I've taken a pause because I'm trying to figure out where to increase like I want to make the sleeves a little bit puffier. So, but look how the shape, I think I showed you this the last episode too. The shape is coming out so cute. You can see the waist shaping and everything. But this time I don't know, did it have the sleeves? I did show you. Just ignore me. Yeah, I think I showed you exactly the place it is right here. I stopped because I need to make it bigger and I need to do some more calculations. So, but my project notes will be updated soon when I get back. And believe it or not, it fits in my blinger string bag, which is only a medium size. So that's actually good. And I've got my Tanzanian shorts back on track. So that's really good. Just ribbing getting done. Tanzanite. I want to say Tanzanian, but I don't know why I'm saying that. The exciting part of what I've just casted on, because I want to cast on all the things. Just like Sarah from Innocent Knit, she just wants to cast on all the things. So do I. I feel you, girl. Like, and the reason why I do that, though, just so you understand, is because if I get stuck, like I did on the global warming, I can move on to something else. Does that make sense? I can put that down and still progress something else. You know, like what if I need to go somewhere and talk to somebody about, hey, I'm thinking to hijack this thing right about here and do that. You know, or is there a better way to do that? That's why. But anyway, exciting. What's exciting right now? I was looking around and I saw this. I'm really focusing on summer knits right now. If you look at my project notes, I put a lot of things to sleep, hibernation, because I want to knit them closer to the end. Like maybe mid-August, I'll start picking up winter things again. Right now, I should have been knitting summer things from like February. So that when this time came now, my shorts would have been done, the tank tops, all those things would have been done. So yeah, I got given Doomsday Knits booklet by Cooperative Press, and I'm like, what can I knit from there right now? Because I'm so excited to knit from it. I got it for my birthday, but I'm really trying to. There's a tank top I think called Technologica. I think I'm gonna knit that, but I want to focus on summer knits right now. And while I was looking around, this lovely girl named Mia, and she's actually Mia Lovecraft is her Ravelry name. She's 21 from Dresden, Germany, which I love that. And I've been to Germany. I spent quite a bit of time there. I would totally go back. She goes on her little account. She goes, I love bulky yarn, cable patterns, and wooden needles. Besides knitting, I love fashion. Yes. And Mori girls. Now, I wish I could Google what a Mori girl is so that you can kind of understand. It's like a movement almost in itself, like a fashion aesthetic. I don't know how else to put it. And I find that interesting that she said that. I was like, what? Nice. And she goes, and Dolly Key and Classic Lolita and Otome. Otome or Otome? O-T-O-M-E. I have to look that up myself to see what that is. But it sounds interesting. And she's designed, and she goes, I have a weakness for pretty things, flowers, forest motifs, deers, owls, vintage stuff and shoes, fluffy dresses, and unique jewelry. And she sews as well. She made this cute pattern. Well, I want to say it's not a pattern, it's a recipe. It's called the Tiered Skirt Recipe by Mia Lovecraft. So it's a simple knitted tiered skirt, and it's very sassy and sweet for summer. ISY in my project notes, I call it the Sassy Tiered Skirt. And basically, it's a recipe. It gives you an idea of how to make a formula of your own to come up with your cast on and so on. So I'm going to go through what I did. But I want you to see how cute this is. I fell in love with this because she did it in a gradient yarn. I need to not talk so loud. And like from a gradient yarn from Germany that you can't get out in the States. So I'm going to have to go on Etsy and see what I can do. But I thought that was like beautiful. I can't do that, unfortunately, Mia. So I'm going to have to do basically a striping style skirt. And then once my stuff comes in from Etsy, because I'm not on my yarn fast anymore. Well, I'm on a yarn alter diet. The fast was like nothing, 0. It was like drinking water. Now I'm slowly bringing back solids, so to speak. But yeah. What do we got here? So what I did was go through the recipe. And so English is not her first. By the way, did you get like a cup of coffee or like something to drink your knitting and all that? Because I got a little something to drink. I got a little vino. I feel like Jess, who's Canadian, from the Multicraftual podcast. I like multicraftual. I feel like my mouth moves so much and so sensual when I say multicraftual. They always have a drink while they podcast. They're like, this podcast is brought to you by Beso de Vino. Now I said that Italian. It's actually Spanish. Maybe it's from Spain? Portugal? I don't know. But it's got a cute little bull with a heart and a blue label on it. Little bull, like a cartoon bull. So cute. This is my, once a evening, every other evening or so. Just such a beautiful wine for like $9. Probably even cheaper in the States. So, it's funny. I was watching The Fat Squirrel today, and she was like, I'm drinking, so if that bothers you, I'm so sorry, but I realized that there are some people that probably don't like that. So I'm sure like the second to last episode, the birthday episode part 2, people were like, she's eating a muffin, she's chewing, she's drinking. This girl has gotten no brought up see. That's what we say in Jamaica for no upbringing. No brought up see. Yeah. I'll teach you little Jamaican sayings as we go through this show. So, salut. So, I'm going to help a little bit, if I can. I don't know. There's probably more veteran people who can probably help her test this pattern a little bit better. Let her know that you've heard about her from the Artsy Knitter, so she can be like, oh, yay, English, help me, blah, blah, blah. But actually, her English is pretty good. She writes her English really well. So I only saw a few little things in here that I was like, I wouldn't word it quite that way, but she's pretty good. So Mia, do not worry. We're going to help. So what I did is step 1, for the newbies, the people out there who are like, I want to be braver with my knitting. If you want to join me on this pattern, it's a free pattern, then absolutely. Just know it's going to be a lot of knitting, and I'll show you why. Because the ruffles, it's very ruffly. So before you turn around, it's got like 500 stitches at the bottom of the skirt. So it's a lot of knitting. So there's a point where it'll seem like you're knitting on it forever. But have patience and take on another small project while you're doing this so that you have some instant gratification and like a nice big project at the same time. And a lovely skirt for the summer. So, first what she does is give you all the steps that you need for planning this skirt. And she tells you about the yarn and her measurements. She shows you what she did with her skirt according to her measurements. And that kind of helps you also figure out yours. She goes, you can use yarn. So it's a recipe for whatever yarn you want to use. But she recommends thinner yarn. To try cotton or a cotton blend. Her Her skirt was 45 centimeters. Now, that's the other thing. You have to use Google to switch over to inches. So that's one of my first things I would say to you, Mia, is to put with the pattern the inches in brackets, what the inches would be, because Americans and Canadians use inches. So you have to do some calculations, guys. She made it 45 centimeters long, which is technically, what does she write here? 40 is about 15, actually no, I'm lying, never mind. She did it 45 centimeters, and the yarn she used was about 150 meters, which is 164 yards, and she used a 4mm needle, which I'm also using. And you have to swatch. I know. Don't cry. It's going to be okay. Swatching is going to be important. She does recommend that you do a swatch that's 10 centimeters by 10 centimeters, which is about like a 4-inch swatch. I would say make it a little bigger so that you have a 4-inch space on the swatch to measure. Then what I did was I did my measurements first. So step 1, do your measurements. My hip, because I want the skirt not necessarily for my waist, but to kind of be on my lower hip or somewhere between my waist and my hip. I did the hip measurement at 40. And that also gives me room to, like, if I eat too much, I can, or, you know, lower it down. If I lose weight, it would hang on my hip. But if I gain weight, I could bring it up to my waist, which is a smaller measurement from the hip measurement. So I think doing it on the hip measurement is okay. Okay, so the waistband is how she designed it, is 2 inches wide. And so I'm going with inches right now. And then what we do here? She did a 15-inch skirt, right? And I think technically it would be 17 with a 2-inch waistband, but she didn't show that until afterwards. I realized that when she said my skirt was 45 centimeters, and then earlier in the pattern she said 40, but that didn't include the waistband. So I decided to do 2 inches shorter than what she would be doing, because I wanted a shorter skirt. And then she lays out the tiers. The first tier she did as 4 inches, which ends up being 70 inches wide. The second tier is 4 inches, but it ended up being 142 inches wide. And then the third is 6 inches in length, or I guess height, and then 183 inches in width. So my total waistband that I'm doing is going to be 15 inches in total. So 2-inch waistband and 13-inch skirt altogether would be 15. So then, after I did all my measurements and figured out those kinds of details, I went to step 2, my yarn. I decided, because I don't have a gradient and I don't have any patience right now, I'm going to do Cascade Ultra Prima yarn, which is about 220 yards, or 200 meters, and it's 100% cotton. Now, I chose this because I'm very color driven when I choose my knitting, and I love the saturation of the colorways that Cascade does. I really like Cascade. So what I did was I chose a gray for the waistband, and that's the gray Cascade Ultra Prima. I think I only did 1 skein for that. And it's 3729 is the number of the yarn. Then I'm going to do, how is it going to work now? It's going to be, after that, I think it's African Violet. Yeah, African Violet. I got 2 skeins. And then I decided to do Regal Purple, 2 skeins. The Regal Purple is 3708 and the African Violet is 37.77. And then I decided to do 3 skeins of the Regal Purple actually. And then they only had 1 skein left of the teal. What I guess they call the major, it's called Major Teal. And it's number 37.74. So this is going to go at the bottom to almost trim it. Maybe like I'm going to try some new things with this pattern as well. So this is the gray that I'm starting the waistband. This would be the African Violet. It's a very purple blue color. I don't know if it's showing true yet. It should be showing true to you guys. And then this is the Regal Purple. There's going to be more of that. And then, of course, you saw the teal. So it's a total of, it's actually more than 1,540, like 1,500 yards. It's a little bit more because I bumped up the African Violet. Unless I decide to get a little bit more purple later on, a little bit more teal later on, because I really love teal. So I'm going to do these striped tiers, which is going to be really cute. And I'm doing it this way too, so that I can, so that I can use up all that yarn and then move to the next and so forth. All right, so that was step 2. And she is doing approximately 2,100 yards. Like 2163 or something like that. But I'm doing a shorter skirt, so that's why I'm doing, I guess what would be the equivalent of what I'm doing. Because I did add, did I do 7? 2, 4, 6, 7. No, I'm doing 1,500. Yeah. All right, step 3. You have to do your gauge. You have to do a swatch. I know, don't moan, just do it. Nike says just do it. But you need this gauge to get your cast on. So you need to make a 4-inch by 30 row gauge swatch. Now I'm saying maybe make a little bit bigger than 4 inch so that you have 4 inches to measure. But the tiers are all, like the first 2 tiers are 30 rows anyway, so, and then the last one I think it's 45 rows. According to her measurements, which she says in the recipe. So what I did was once I made that, I measured it, and then I got stitches per inch was 4.5 stitch per inch, and my whole swatch, like for the 4 inch, was like 18 stitches by 22 rows per 4 inch. So to get my measurements for my cast on, take my waist measurements, which was, I put it at 36, a little bit bigger, so that I could get it to hang, even though I measured my hip earlier, don't worry about that one. But 36 times 4.5 to give me 162 cast on, all right, stitches. So that 36 times 4.5 told me I need to cast on 162 stitches. That's my point. Okay, so then I did that. I think I showed you that already. That's where I am at right now in the gray. And when you go to the second page, she kind of goes through it says to start with it says, like, I'm going to try and see if I can help out with the waistband section. Her English is really great, but there's some words here and there that might confuse an English speaker, or at least me, I don't know. Might help. I'm going to tell you what I think. And I had some other veteran knitters look at this as well. But you're doing the first 2 inches for the waistband, and then I think there's a section where she goes, you're going to knit in stockinette to the desired length, and then you're going to fold it into a tunnel to put the elastic through. And I think as you're doing it, what happens is you start with a provisional cast on, she says. I did long tail, but you guys can choose. Cast on, because with the way she wrote it here, it says start with a provisional cast on, and then, for example, long tail cast on. I was like, But cast on the needed stitch count of stitches. it's truly recommended is the section we're going to go into, and I decided to go into talking about yarn bowls that I love on Etsy. I found about 4 that I really love because they all have different sensibilities to them. A little dark humor, a little natural wood. So starting off with and what I did was I put in art yarn bowls and then knitting bowls, something like that. So try different things when you do a search. I found Owlcreekceramics, and she has this gorgeous polka dot black and white yarn bowl. So for the newbies, this yarn bowl is awesome because you can have it on the table with your yarn in it and has a little swirl cut down into the bowl so that your yarn can go, lead out of it, and your stuff is not like rolling all over the place. So it's really great. I'm gonna put it like right here so you can see it. Right? Can you see like my Vanna White, this yarn bowl? I thought, oh my god, I don't want to say because then there's gonna be none left for me. Like, what am I gonna do? But she makes a lot of this, so it'll be alright, I think. Then I found number 2, Something's Luck 13, The Art of Lucy Stradley. It's a 4x6. It's $50, and it's an awesome cat with the yarn coming out the mouth. It's so cute. She also has these little, almost like troll-like, monster-y type ones as well, with it coming out the nostril, and it's got a little dark humor. It's like little cute and creepy, but cute. So if you want something a little bit like funny, that would be it, with like buck teeth and everything. So cute. And it's food and microwave safe. Number 3, we found a studio called Fire Art Studio, and she calls it a Raku bowl, A-R-A-K-U, and it's 4x6, $40, and it's got a very artsy look. I love the way this thing looks. It has a slickness to it, and I love it. It's not food or water safe though, but it's $40 and it's really nice, like really nice. Last but not least, Twisted Timber. For those of you who have a natural sensibility and want something more organic, I found a wooden knitting bowl with a lid. It's $105, as seen in, yes, that's right, you heard me. You heard me. $105. It's been seen in Knitwear magazine, okay? $105. But it's a celebrity bowl. No. For those who like wood, it's perfect. It's got a lid on it. It's gorgeous. I actually do like it a lot. I wouldn't put it on this list. Trust. Now, click on these links. It's all in the show notes. These are not affiliate links, guys. Okay? This is me. Like, stalking through the internet, finding things I think would be of interest to you to share and connect. And I don't mind you connecting with me and letting me know, like, I found these people, and this is really cute, and it's out of recycled what's it, nots it, and yeah, go on the thread, share. And then also, we have our recommended podcast for this episode, which is, drumroll, Susan B. Anderson, people. Now, I found out through Juniper Grace, who's also a podcaster. So her podcast on YouTube is Juniper Grace Tube. Amazing. I love this girl. She is the one that kind of got me into realizing that Susan B. Anderson is like some knitting celebrity, like rockstar. Now, that doesn't mean I'm a knitting celebrity, okay? I say knitting rockstar. When I say that, even though I'm labeling her as a knitting rockstar as well, it's about knitting bold, going for it. Like, knit night last night, freaking lovely woman named Jean. She is awesome. First project she's knitting ever. 3 tank tops for her granddaughters. I was like, what? What you talk about, Willis? What? You didn't even do like a washcloth or something? She's just like grabbing it by the, hoo-hoo, and knitting. Now, mind you, she's knitting and ripping out and drop stitches, and I'm like, I'm sit beside you. I love that she's so bold. I'm like, I'll fix your mistakes. I will take a hook and I will help you. You are awesome. I'm like, I hope when I am your age, I am killing it. Anyway. But yeah, Susan B. Anderson, that's my point. I recommend her podcast. She just started podcasting. She has tons of videos, educational videos, on her YouTube channel. But she just started turning them over into podcasts. Right? Easier than blogging and writing. Which, by the way, guys, if you see spelling mistakes in my forum posts, my blog posts, I'm horrendous. I'm telling you now. It'll get better. I'm just telling you. My spelling's horrible. My grammar sucks. I only write like I speak. Like if I'm like, what da 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 da. Even if it's grammatically incorrect, I write it the same way. I don't know why. But anyway. So she's at about episode 7. And just so you know, she is a knitting teacher. Like she travels to different places. So if you see on the roster, Susan B. Anderson is teaching a class, take it. Craftsy. And for the newbies, this is a place you can learn online knitting stuff. So, not just YouTube. Check it out. I'll put a link in the show notes. Craftsy named Susan B. Anderson's blog the Best Instructor Blog Award for 2013. Okay? Boop, boop, boop. She's like, props. She's got a little badge on her blog, so go check. You'll see. But the Artsy Knitter podcast bestows upon her the prize of Best Smile. She's so cute. She's got the pretty teeth. I know it sounds really weird, and don't even try to figure it out. But she's got such cute little teeth, and she smiles and a little laugh. She's so cute, so sweet, and she's knowledgeable. If you want to learn, people, plug in. Okay? And last but not least, we're coming to the end of our show. My artsy spotlight. Remove my vino. This is a 16 by 20 piece that I did last year. And what we have going on here is a collage, and it's like these black peonies almost. I don't know if it's real, but I've collaged different individual ones with some iridescent paint, collaged them together. We've got some hand-done pen and ink drawings within the spaces and like paint. And then all this that you see here is all hand-drawn along her face and all her body here. That was, I think, the last piece I've done in this kind of series so far. I'm going to be working on some new ones, but I really love her, and people respond really well to her, so I thought I'd show you. I do take custom orders on my Etsy account. I put the link in the show notes, and I think this piece is on my website, trueferguson.com. There's originals, and you can buy prints of this piece as well. And I do the prints on a watercolor paper, so it still has the similar feel to what the originals are like. But, yeah. I even sometimes take really interesting photos. I could actually take an interesting photo, a family photo, and turn that into an art piece. I actually also do portrait shoots of people, and then do these portrait shoots from the point of view of turning it into an art portrait afterwards. But that's something I sit down with the client and sit and talk about and talk through that. So yeah, I enjoy merging those two together. And that's it. That's my Artsy Spotlight. Now, if you like this video, there's a little thumbs up button down there and a subscribe button. There's also, so click it, like it, repost it on Google Plus, because I'm using Google Plus now. Yeah, I'm so proud of myself. I'm like, oof. And Facebook it, share it on Facebook, I don't care. Girl, please, do it. Twitter, tweet it, click it, do my whatever, Instagram it. Say, oh, I'm watching, blah, blah, whatever you like. My Instagram is pretty active. I love being on there, so check out Artsy Knitter, at the Artsy Knitter on Instagram. Come say hi. And, yeah, that's it, really. Follow the blog, join the group, make a little intro, let me know you're there. I want to, like, you know, I want the this summer for the group and the Instagram to like, well, Instagram, they're like the bomb. They're like, blah, blah, blah. But like the group to like really pick up. We're going to start doing some cows. I have some really great plans in order. We also plan to do a relaunch of the blog. So right now my blog with all the videos are at artsyknitter.wordpress.com. And the artsyknitter.com has a under construction page right now. But there's a little tab, a little section that you can put in your email, and you can be the first to be notified that we've launched the new blog. It's going to be self-hosted, and I'm also just about finished getting everything, or started getting everything onto Podcast Garden, and that's where I'll be posting my links so that I could be in, or my videos as well, so that I can be in iTunes. So I would say before the end of June, I'm going to be on iTunes, and you can be following me there. And then you can like leave reviews and blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that's it. That's all she wrote. Thanks a lot, guys. All the new viewers, people who've never seen me before, God bless you for staying all the way till the end. New viewers, I love your faces. Mwah! Just like the fat squirrel. Knit like a rock star, people. That means knit bold. When you see me again, I'll be back from the retreat all zen and Yoda-like. Bye.